Number 4 is very similar to number 1 on the worksheet. Once again, I'm going to start with the first thing I always do when I try to draw a graph for an equation is I think about the values where the function is undefined. The vertical asymptote is at 3, which means there must be an x minus 3 in the denominator. I see that there is a horizontal asymptote at negative 4. So since there's an x in the denominator, there must be a negative 4x in the numerator, because that would give me a horizontal asymptote of negative 4. And there's probably something else in the numerator. I don't know what that is yet. However, I do know a point on the graph, 2, negative 2. So I put 2 into the function, and I get put 2, negative 2. Negative 2 is f of x, and then 2 is x. So negative 2 is equal to negative 4 times 2 plus c. I just called that c, that missing number, over 2 minus 3. I finish solving that, and I end up that 10 has to equal c. So my function is negative 4x plus 10 over x minus 3. Now I'm just going to double check. I see my y-intercept appears to be a little bit bigger than negative 3, or a little smaller than negative 3, somewhere between negative 3 and negative 4. So if I were to substitute 0 in for x, I get 10 over negative 3, which is negative 3 1/3. So that looks perfectly reasonable. Okay, so that's one method of doing it. The other method is doing a transformation of the graph 1 over x. So once again, I see that the graph has shifted to the right 3 and down 4. So that means x minus 3 in the denominator and then minus 4 outside the function. I put a in the numerator to represent the unknown numerator, use the point 2, negative 2, and plug it into the function, and then solve for a. And when I solve for a, I found that a is negative 2. And that makes sense because remember in a 1 over x graph, so I'm kind of just drawing it, the one curve would, the curve to the right would be on the upper half, and the curve to the left would be on the lower half. In other words, it kind of has a positive trend. This has more of a negative trend to it, this because of the negative leading coefficient, or the negative constant right here, or the negative, negative leading coefficient here. That shows us the negative value here. Actually, I don't know that this shows it, but this one definitely shows it. So once again, two different ways, of writing the same equation.